In the beginning of the relationship between Harry and Meghan, we saw Meghan turning on the charm, playing the perfect part of a woman ready to take on the role of one of the family with Harry. But some of you more observant people saw the small signs that she was lying.
Meghan and Harry's love is not only the union of two hearts, but also the intersection of two different worlds. What makes Meghan so special in Prince Harry's eyes? What factors made Harry decide that Meghan was the woman you wanted to spend your life loving and protecting? And why, after what Meghan treated his family, Harry still chose to follow Meghan? To be honest, I have never seen a woman as evil as Meghan. And what Meghan is best at is calculating, lying, and manipulating Harry's psychology. Meghan is a trap. She trolled, calculated, planned this. Way in advance, how do we know this? Follow her trail. False Diana 2.0 to Africa with mirroring outfits. Brought her own photographer to create the illusion of loving it and being a humanitarian. Wore his mother's cologne. Met him at Soho House via Eugene. Paid for her services. Yes, a working girl. Was an escort in a French escort establishment. Look into the French journalist investigation and traveled the European and British countries. She cleverly calculated everything. Attempted to trap Prince Andrew first. Met through Epstein. But that. Tried calling the palace with the important thing to tell Andrew. She was blocked. Believed to be false claims of pregnancy. She had become sterile in her late 20s. Then pulled the same gig on Harry. I'm pregnant. Harry bought into it. Desperate to be like his brother and compete with him. Threatening racism if the marriage didn't occur. Previously told no till the fake pregnancy story was used. Queen couldn't say no. Likely faked urinalysis too. She's the ultimate malignant user and con artist. Harry called Chelsea the night before in distress. He was not a happy man on his wedding day. Look at his body language. Look at his body language. Look at Queen Elizabeth's body language. That's the way to discern. Andrew avoided Markle on balconies and protected the Queen as well as his sister Anne. Both knew what she was. Evil. Queen Elizabeth wore her funeral pearls, pre-selected, and put Markle in a black Rolls Royce used for the funeral of Wallis Simpson. Trapped like a dog on a leash, then cried a pity party. Then divide and separate. She's a classic case of narcissistic personality disorder, antisocial personality disorder, histrionic, highly unhinged, and psychotic. No, not love. It's enmeshment and a trauma bond. Do not look to mainstream American news for reality. Markle puts out over 400 pay-for-play articles that paint herself as her narrative, alternative reality. A very dangerous and dark individual. You would need to spend months investigating her to know what I just told you. To be honest, I researched a lot about the royal family. That's of course right, because I need to have enough information and knowledge to be able to make these videos for you, right? I can't come up here and talk nonsense. Of course, I also have to watch many other channels to have a more comprehensive view of myself when doing this job. One of the channels about the royal family, I find the Real Housewives Recaps channel quite interesting. I was attracted by her voice right from the beginning of the video. Are you guys like me? The channel's analysis is also quite detailed and attractive, and updating new events is also quite fast. Sometimes I like the host's humor and sarcasm. If you are interested, you can try it. Going back to today's main topic, do you like me analyzing Meghan's step-by-step strategy to conquer Harry? Well, those who are single or in unrequited love can watch it for reference and apply it to themselves, haha. Meghan used this method to flirt with even a UK prince, so I'm sure the possibility of using it to flirt with the person you like will be very high. Okay, let's not make you wait any longer. Let's find out with me. From my understanding of it, Meghan orchestrated the introduction from across the pond. They met for a first date at Soho House, London, and Meghan followed the first steps in the art of seduction. Come to the target indirectly, she socially networked her way to a friend of Princess Eugenie, so that Harry would believe friends of friends or family in Prince Harry's case had set them up. I imagine on that first date he found her so beguiling because she found him so fascinating. Step 2, become the ideal lover. There seems to be some indication that she had plastic surgery done so unusual for an actress. Did she sculpt those Spencer cheekbones, a shy, gentle smile, so that she'd look instantly familiar to him somehow? Next steps, enter his spirit. Poeticize your presence. He wants to go on a multi-day adventure to Botswana and sleep under the stars. That's the best idea you've ever heard. You must have yourself at least half believing it, or your insincerity will be detectable. Cast him as the hero, though you're well-traveled and have done charity work in Africa. He's going to be your guide. Ask questions. Be unsure of what to pack and how things will go. Require him to make decisions and ensure your safety and relative comfort. And in this milieu of adventure, commence the sexual relationship and make it unforgettable. Now you have a shared experience with inside jokes, memories, and the transgression of crazy sex. Best of all, he thinks he seduced you. Then step back. You have to return to Canada. Of course, you're absolutely crazy about him texting day and night, but some days you step back and let him miss you. Give him space to fall to believe he never wants to be without you. You leak the relationship to the press. You emulate Diana, Princess of Wales, in the look of being hounded by the press. Fear, uncertainty, and a need for protection enter the picture. A lot of this is like he has his mum back and best friend who always has time for him and indulges his naughty side. No one has been that to him since he was a child. She can't walk away like Chelsea and Cressida did. Maybe William is right to say it's going very fast and it would be wise to slow down. But now that this has started, she needs protection and Harry's the only one who can provide it. There's just one way to do that. He goes to the monarchy, Gran, Dad, and Papa, to ask for their consent to marry her. Gran and Dad, seeing that Harry's about to be fifth in line to the throne with the impending birth of Prince Louis, state that he can marry the American if that's what he really wants. But it's not expected that she will have royal duty. She could accompany Harry on his or just attend ceremonial things with him. Papa Philip brings him aside to say, you don't marry an actress, you have your fun, and then you are done. The seeds of uncertainty are sown. Meghan may need protecting from the family inside and out. Harry, Megs, we don't actually order the staff around like despots. They're our friends, sort of, who help us. Meghan, if I'm not seen as having power, I won't ever be respected for my status. Harry wheels grind in his ginger head what Meghan wants. She gets. The engagement is filled with drama, highs and lows, excitement, and finally attention to Harry and not just William. And it's all because of her. He becomes unnerved by her disapproval, dependent upon her approval, and that smile that just seems like it's been in his consciousness all his life. She started to separate Harry from the family that's always bailed him out and cleaned up his messes and also stood by him. I'm sure William either told Catherine, or she quickly realized that Harry was part of the package. She became the sister he didn't know he needed, and the three of them shared years of laughter and good times. Meghan, feeling unable to compete with that, though, if she'd been halfway congenial and able to roll with it, the Fab Four could have endured with grace and determination, felt it necessary to remove it. So with the power she held over Harry's sense of self and feelings of empowerment, she was well positioned to separate him from his greatest loves, William, Catherine, his Gran, and Dad. They became in his mind impediments to the freedom and nurturing he thought he needed. If you read The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene, you can see that Meghan followed it chapter and verse until it became destructive. The problem with a masterful seduction is that you must keep up that level of energy and imagination, a tall order for anyone, or end it with lightness and love, and move on to your next target. Seduction requires a devotion to the other person's experience. Her ego got in the way and her insecurities ruined everything. To see how Meghan planned and arranged to conquer someone? I wonder if people have learned anything from Meghan's tactics. I would also add that the Botswana trip was pivotal. There were no checks and balances, no pesky friends or family or society to contend with. Only a tent, the starry skies, complete isolation, and the world at your feet. You can tell and promise each other anything, and it will be so. Harry has not been lucid since that trip. It is where he seemingly lost his mind. Well, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for watching our video. And what do you think about this issue? Please express your opinion in the comments below. Hope you will always be cheerful and happy. Don't forget to support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.